Trump did some prison reform and then got wailed on it for it because it was bad. I feel like Republicans in principle aren't the party of prison reform.
They're not. They don't care about solitary confinement. And it's crazy because we have the political prisoners.
Right. I was going to say maybe they'll care about it more in the wake of all the January 6th prisoners.
Most of the people in jail aren't political prisoners, though. Most of the people in jail are just criminals and deserve to be there, frankly.
I would say that is absolutely correct, but I do think the amount of political prisoners that exist is way more than people realize.
Yeah.
Extending well beyond J6.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of, there's probably tons of stories of some dude who's in New York, LA, or whatever, and they know that there's a politician who's doing something wrong, and the cops just at their house. I remember reading about Bakersfield in California. Some dude had evidence of police impropriety, and so they kept trying to find ways to get the crime on him and then lock him up, and they did. These kinds of things happen a lot. I'm a big fan of prison reform. I think Trump was on the right track with it. I want to see more of it. We'll see, though. I think if you were to have a sit-down conversation on prison morality, private versus public, etc., you're going to get garbled, insane nonsense from the left and hypocrisy.
I think prison reform sounds nice on paper, but let's be specific. When we're saying prison reform, you guys don't believe in lowering sentences for violent offenders, right?
No,
I think violent offenders get sent to an island.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
No, so that sounds like prison reform the other way.
I
agree with you.
I mean, like fixing the Federal Bureau of Prisons, you have dilapidated buildings that are falling apart. You have a high suicide rate. There's a lot of problems in the prisons as far as like human rights issues. That is something that everybody should agree on. They need more staffing. They're understaffed. The staff that they have a lot of issues. They have addiction issues, mental health issues. They have spousal abuse issues. There's a lot of issues with the federal BOP that should be fixed. From a bipartisan perspective, I wouldn't see any issues with that.
I'm sure the jails are extremely corrupt. I've never been, but
my prison reform is we should abolish maximum security prisons completely abolish them. If you commit a crime that qualifies for a supermax or maximum security, you go to the island. And the island will just be one of thousands of different islands. So if you're a violent offender, we say you have been excised from society for your violent offense through due process, through evidence, we prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And then we say, you're free to go to this island and nowhere else. And good luck. You survive. You're on your own. I don't see why we're paying for you. I don't see why.
More humane than an actual prison.
I don't think
it is more humane. Absolutely, that's the point.
Yeah.
You're telling them we're breaking up. You've wronged us, so we are saying all the things we build, all the things we sustain, and all the rules we agree to follow, you don't. So you can go live on an island, and there's fish in the water, and there's critters running around. There's deer. I'm not talking like a tiny little rock. I'm saying like a couple, like maybe a square mile or something. And then how many people can reasonably live on it? Good luck. That's why I say maximum security. White collar crimes, we can keep those prisons. You don't need much. Many of these places are like golf courses you can't leave. And so you're caught committing financial crimes. Okay, you're going to timeout. We're cutting off your access to the internet. You're gonna wear the white jumpsuit. You're gonna hang out, watch soap operas. Nobody's concerned about you hurting anybody, but you did kind of screw with the system. So there you go. And then for a lot of what we see on the streets, mental illness, mental asylums. So we got to stop wasting money on these prisons. A guy in a major city who joins a gang and then kills somebody. Why are we being like, okay, now we're going to go send you to hang out with your gang to learn more how to be a gangbanger? I'd be like, island.
Yeah. It's never made sense to me. And I do think, to your point, like right now, because we don't have any alternatives, we don't have asylums, we sort of just lump a lot of people together, and it creates these very crazy systems. I mean, when you talk about, some of the violence data that comes out of it, people will always ignore it because they're like, well, the power structure in prison is very weird. But it's like, so then why is this what we're maintaining? Like, if any of this, like, I agree, violent offenders, you need to take it really seriously. But I also think that if the objective is to rehabilitate people, we're clearly not doing that. And so it seems like this is a system that everybody is pouring money into, the taxpayers especially, that we are not seeing results from. Like, there should be accountability there.